so can you share it with us?
Yeah, we're. It's going to be consistent with what we've done the first two games.
So Adrian and Peasley will start. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
play.
Adrian will take the first half this week, and Peasley will take the second half.
What were your likes and dislikes from yesterday's takeaway from the joint?
Yeah. Thought it was really good. It was very competitive. Really appreciate Dayball and the Giants coming out here. I thought both sides of the ball. I thought the guys respected each other, competed well against one another, and there was a lot of really good things to take from the tape, and there was some things that we definitely needed to improve on. So overall, I thought we got a lot of work out of it.
I know you talked about Aaron and his arm looks like it's 30, but just his mobility. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. He's got plenty of mobility. He showed it in Carolina. He's been showing it in practice. It was really cool for him to do it again. There was obviously a couple of all-schedule throws that he made. You can tell that he's gaining more and more confidence in it because he's not afraid to run and leave the pocket. He's been doing it. If you guys noticed during our routes on air during individual and group install, he manufactures all-schedule plays just to make sure that one, the guys are on their P's and Q's, and he's getting his work in. So the mobility is there. He's got plenty of mobility to create off schedule.
Last season, Robert, you played him in the 2 series against the Giants. Why did you decide not to this year?
Different reasons last year as compared to this year. I'm not going to get into those, but I feel like we've gotten so much work done, so much good work with three quality opponents over the course of 3 weeks. Last year we didn't scrimmage with the Giants. This year we've had three different scrimmages, and I feel like the amount of work we got in has been very productive.
Okay. Just jumping on that with the offensive line, so they'll go into the first game not having any game time reps with Aaron. How much of a factor is that a concern at all, or how
No,
much
because best I can explain it for you guys. Like, take yesterday for example. I don't know. I haven't talked to Dayball yet. I'm not sure if he's going to play Dexter Lawrence and all those guys, but we got much better work. But let's pretend for a second he doesn't play Burns and Dexter and all those guys. And again, I haven't spoken to him, so I don't know. What's better, that or the 40 plays they got against those guys yesterday? So I'm not concerned about the actual game part, because for them it's the same. Practice and game is the same. They don't get tackled. They're not getting hit. So all of it for them is the same, whether it's practice or the game.
Does it also factor in, Robert, most of the guys are older?
No.
Because for example, like when Zach was here, you played him in the preseason, but he was a young. Maybe the game, being in the stadium, playing in front of a crowd, maybe he's different than Aaron. This is his 20th season, or Tyron, it's his 14th season.
No, that's a good question. It's different. I think it's different because our first year we were still a very young team, young staff. This is year 4, really speaking the same languages all the way across the board. We needed those reps. If you remember that year, it was high volume and we were still playing. We were scrimmaging against teams and we still went out into the game because we needed it. And it's not that we don't need it. It's just this is a much more veteran group. We've gotten 4 years under our belts of playing the game side by side, and so now it's just an allocation of, because it's all about reps and how many reps you need to get yourself ready to play, and are the 10 reps that they might get on Saturday worth another 40 reps between today and tomorrow? So those were the decisions we made.
It's not just Aaron last year, but like you had that. You lost Carl Lawson that first year in Green Bay. You lost Zach in a preseason game. You guys have had some bad preseason injury luck. So, is the decision at all just, hey, let's not risk injury?
No, I honestly, I'm not thinking about it from an injury standpoint, because, like I said, you can get hurt at practice. You can get hurt brushing your teeth, for crying out loud. But this has everything to do with whether or not we're preparing ourselves properly, and not just looking at checking the old coach's box. I feel good about it. We got to go play. Does it really help us in week 1? And we've played them in the past, and we're taking this whole off season. We've taken a different approach with how we're preparing our guys for week one, and hopefully it pans out.
Would you know how many, best ballpark, how many reps Aaron has taken in training camp?
Yeah, shoot. Ballpark. I want to say we're at over 800 right now.
Just him? I mean,
For the first group. I'm just saying the first
Can
group.
you say what would have been like last year? How many would he have taken?
Well, last year was different because you had the Hall of Fame game, and so we kind of paced it off a little bit differently. But what I will say is that we're averaging a significant amount more per practice than we did a year ago. Where last year I think we averaged 20. I'm just speaking for one group, not our whole practice, but we're averaging 20 reps versus over 30.
With Aaron, is there anything? With Aaron, is there anything? I mean, we know how great he is, everything like that. But coming back from that injury, is there anything out here he's shown you in the last month that you like?
His mobility. It's that has been. That was because his arm, like you saw in OTAs with all the 7-on-7 stuff, he's throwing the ball, but he's doing it from a pocket, and it wasn't like we were running any boots or anything like that during OTAs. But his mobility is plenty.
Can you talk about the growth of the overall group since report day? And one of the things that you talked about early on was it felt quieter around here. Do you really appreciate the way this camp went?
I do. It's felt like a normal camp. Last year wasn't normal, but no, I've really appreciated the way our guys have gone about their business. I've said it before. I love the way our O-line's coming together. It's and I'm not just talking about their play style and all that. I'm just talking about they actually like being around each other. I've always said it with the defense. The defense likes being around each other. The offense, you see certain position groups. I think they're actually starting to enjoy being around one another because there's a lot of like minds. And I've liked the way they've come together, the way they root for one another, the way they play for one another, the way they communicate with one another. It's turning into a pretty cool group.
Now that camp is over and you're shifting into regular season mode, what is your confidence level that Hassan will report in time to play week one?
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it.
You talk
We've
about the
asked-
offensive line. I mean, we know again the same thing, and we know how great Tyron's been throughout his career. But what has he done here to get this group whole or whatever?
I want to put Morgan in there. I don't want to sell him short, but because both of them, because they're old souls in the sense that they got coached by Bill Callahan, who's as hard a football coach on his guys as there is in football, and from an O-line perspective, and so they're here and they embrace the difficulty, they embrace the strain, they embrace the hardship of the workload, and because they're embracing it, the younger guys are recognizing it and adopting that, and because of that, there's just the way they go about their business. It's kind of I don't want to call it old school mentality, but it's the right mentality to prepare yourself to play football, and they do it with a smile on their face and this desire to do more. You see them after practice every day, despite the workloads we've been giving. They've been grabbing some of these younger guys and they're putting in more work. And I've always said it that the elite people in this world always want more. They don't cut corners. They don't ask for less. They want more, and they'll do whatever they have to do to get more.
The update on Michael Carter. He was out there yesterday.
Hopefully we get him back next week for those 3 practices before we take a break.
Robert, Reddick's absence put a lot on spotlight on Will McDonald, but the other guy in that spot, Michael Clemens, what kind of camp did he have, and what kind of opportunity is this for him to go from just a rotational guy to maybe a starter or a heavy reps guy?
Yeah, no, Michael's done a really nice job. Will's done a nice job. Michael's lost a lot of weight, so he looks way different than he did a year ago. He's moving a lot better than he did a year ago. Obviously, we tried to get him up to a certain weight to see if we can get him inside outside. Bad decision, bad advice from your friendly neighborhood coaching staff. But he looks really good. He's in a really good place. setting the edges that he needs to set, and he's actually producing some in the pass game. And so the three of them, I'm going to talk about Tack too, because Tack's really taken advantage of this opportunity too. He looks really, really good. So between the three of them, they've all seized the moment.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.